that you were born with that you can use to transform the quality of your life right now. The power I'm speaking of is the power of your brain and body working together. It's the same power that allows your heart to beat over 100,000 times a day without you even having to think about it. It pumps over 6,000 quarts of blood a day through a network of blood vessels that, if you were to put them end to end, would go over 60,000 miles. That's enough to circle the Earth twice at the equator. You don't even have to think about this. You've got a set of eyes that instantly make distinctions, over 10 million different color distinctions. You've got a set of muscles that, if they were to work together and pull in one direction, would equal 25 tons of pulling power. And all of this process is being run in a body that's made up of about 98% water, run by about a 3-pound lump of matter we call our brain. A device that runs roughshod over the whole process, monitors everything, works for over 70 years with very little care needed for it, and runs on about as much electricity as you might use for a 10-watt light bulb. It has the storage capacity that, even with today's technology, would require 2 buildings the size of the World Trade Centers. With all this power within you, with this incredible computer, because that's what it is, your mind is probably the greatest computer on the planet. It's available to you. Run properly, you can accomplish any dream or goal you desire. Run ineffectively, and your goals just remain dreams. They never become the realities they could be. Isn't it time you made full use of that computer? Isn't it time for you to take charge and unleash the magic and the power within you now? Welcome to the owner's manual for your brain. With an owner's manual, you can accomplish just about anything you want. And the purpose of this tape is to really being a programming device for you. Not a teaching session, but a chance for you to get acquainted with the keyboard to your brain, how to really direct your emotions and behaviors with more power and with more precision than maybe you've ever thought were possible before. So let's get right to it. In this tape, you're going to learn how to eliminate fears and phobias. You're going to learn how to direct your emotion, how to anchor in the kinds of behaviors you want, and really how to take any massive problem or challenge you've had in the past and turn it around in a very short period of time. And at the end of this tape, we have a program we call Mental Aerobics, which will be your chance to use this tape day in and day out, using the repetition to program yourselves, so that every time when you wake up in the morning, you can start out and not just take care of your physical body, but tune up this mental computer. Get yourself so that you're applying all the things that you can apply to accomplish your dreams and goals. Let's start out here with a question. What is it that almost every single person on the planet really wants and needs? And my answer to that question is change. I think almost everyone in this room and everyone watching this tape wants to change something in their life. You either want to change how you feel, or you want to be able to change a behavior. How many of you here would like to change something specifically? 2 of you? Okay, all of you. The reality of the situation is that most people want to change, and a lot of people think they know how to change, but they don't create the long-term changes they want. In order to understand how to change ourselves, we got to know what makes us behave the way we do in the first place. So let's take a look at what creates human behavior. People behave at any moment in time basically in line with the state that their mind and body is in at any moment in time. In other words, when we feel very angry, we're going to behave differently, obviously, than if we feel very loved. Now, the question is, what determines what state we're in at any moment in time? Well, there are 2 major factors that are going to determine your state, in other words, how you feel, and thus pretty much how you're going to behave overall. The first major factor is the use and basically the condition of your present physiology. Physiology just simply means, how does your body feel? How are you using your posture, your breathing pattern? For example, if your physiology is stressed, if you have, for example, muscular tension throughout your whole body or pain, then you're going to be in a different state than, for example, if your body is relaxed. As a result, in a painful state, you may behave and treat people a little bit differently. You may snap at people. Or normally, in a more relaxed state, you might just smile or handle things a lot differently. So physiology is one of the first things that determines our state of mind. The second thing that determines our state of mind, and again, out of our state of mind is how we're going to behave, is what we call our internal representations. What that's a fancy word for, really, is how do we represent to ourselves what's going on in our world? There are 2 major ways in which we usually represent things, and that is by what we picture in our minds, and also how we picture things in our minds, as well as by what we say to ourselves or what we listen to and how we listen to it. How meaning, for example, the tone of voice you have when you talk to yourself makes a big difference. The tone of voice you have when you talk to someone else If you have a loving tone of voice versus an angry tone of voice, there's going to be a difference in state, and as a result, you're probably going to behave a lot differently, whether you're angry in terms of your internal voice or whether you're happy. So again, how you represent things in your head is going to make a big difference in your emotional state and your behavior. So let's come back to the first one. Physiology is the most powerful leverage we have for managing our states in our life. Those times when everything just flowed for you, your physiology was in a great place. You were in control. You were in charge. So let's just try something really simple. Think about this. If you were to find somebody who's depressed, that state of mind called depression has a specific posture and physiology associated to it. Somebody who's depressed, what does their posture usually look like? You tell me here in this audience. Where are their shoulders usually? Slumped. Okay, slumped. Where's their head? Down. Eyes are looking down. What's the breathing usually like?
Shallow.
Shallow. Okay. What are the muscles in the face like? Are they tight? Are they relaxed? What are they like?
Tight.
Usually kind of droopy for most people when they're depressed. Tight, usually they have some anxiety. But if they're just depressed, it's usually kind of drooping and drop down like this. Now, if you take that exact same person who's depressed and do only one thing, that is change the way they're using their posture, you'll instantly change the way they feel and the way in which they behave. Now, again, I know this sounds very simple, but it's how the brain and body work. We've been teaching this now for about 5 years, and last year, the University of California at San Francisco did a study where they took a series of depressed people who had been through all kinds of therapies and made only one change. They said, I wonder what would happen if we put expressions on these people's faces of happiness, smiling, laughing, that kind of thing, but making their face go in an upward fashion and change their shoulder position. Their research showed that even with people who've been depressed for years, in 1 second's change from this physiology of depression to shoulders back, breathing fully, a smile on their face, instantly these people stopped feeling depressed in that moment. Now, the key, of course, is to take it from changing how they feel in a moment to long term, which we're going to get into in this tape. So let's try it in this audience. And you at home who are watching, try this as well. If you're watching this videotape, instead of just slumping there looking at it and saying, what is he talking about? I can help you to learn quicker by putting yourself in an optimum state. So try this. All of you in the audience and you at home, sit the way you'd be sitting right now if you felt totally energized and excited. Breathe the way you'd be breathing if you felt totally energized and excited. Now, put a look on your face like you'd be like if you were really excited, really energized, breathing and feeling good. And raise your hand if right now you can honestly feel a measurable change in your state as you made this one subtle little change. Now try this. Go from this state to a state of feeling kind of bored and tired. Okay, back to energized. Quick, snap yourself up. You too. Make sure you do this if you would. Play with me, because I want you to be able to develop a pattern. So if you start to feel tired and lousy, you can snap yourself in real quick, real simple. Go ahead and be bored and tired again. Energized. Snap yourself a little faster. Bored and tired. Energized. Bored and tired. Energized. A little faster. Bored and tired. Energized. Energized. Now watch this again. Go ahead and go bored and tired. And notice the first thing you do to get bored and tired. Go ahead. Energized. What's the first thing you do to get bored and tired?
Forward.
Drop your shoulders down. What else? Change your breathing so it's what?
Shallow.
More shallow. Where do your eyes go? Down. Okay, so it's a lot like depression. Bored and tired aren't that far away from that particular state. In fact, a lot of people get depressed because they're bored and tired. Okay? So the reason I'm pointing this out and you go, well, this is really simple. It is simple. But the reality is most people do not manage the simple things that make the difference in the quality of our lives. And what I'm asking you to do is become consciously aware of what you already know. And that is the way in which you use your body is going to determine how you feel physically. And if you feel physically strong, emotionally strong, then you're going to get the most you can out of yourself. You're not going to be just barely making it through the day. And every one of us in life has to be able to do this in a moment's notice. Let's try something else. From where you're sitting right now, I want you to think of something that you don't feel like you could do, like it would be really tough and you don't think you could do it. And then what I want you to do is feel how it feels when you think about the fact that you're not sure you can do it. Where are the muscles in your body? Are they tense? Are they relaxed? Are you drooping? Are you upright? Just notice where you are when you don't think you can do something. You just don't think you can pull it off. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to adjust now to the most confident physiology you've ever been in your life. So sit the way you'd be sitting if you felt unstoppable. Like if you had a goal or an outcome and you were absolutely unstoppable, nothing was going to break through. Some of you have been through the Firewalk seminar. You might take that physiology where there's nothing in this world that's going to stop you. You've got to desire a goal, and that's it. Now, as you're doing that, feel it in your face, feel it in the way you breathe, feel it in the way you look, the focus of your eyes, the muscles in your body. Continue to feel these great feelings where you're totally confident and strong. And notice the difference. Now go from this state back to you're not sure. Somebody going, no way. Go back to like, oh, God, I'm not really sure. God, I don't think I can pull it off. Now, back into total confidence. Snap into a confident state where you are absolutely certain you can do this. There's nothing that's going to stop you right now. Make it in your face and your breathing. Now, while you're in this state, if you can feel the difference, and it's major, raise your hand so I can see that you can definitely do it. Anybody here not? Okay, you all feel the difference. Now, what I want you to do is in this same physiology, think about that thing you didn't think you could do a moment ago, but stay in this state. Think about things you didn't think you could do, but now you're in this state, and think about it. How many of you feel like you could do it now? Raise your hand if you think you could do it. So the reason is, have you ever had a project that was like such a difficult project, you didn't know where to begin, it was so difficult? Like, you know, where am I going to start with this thing? But then somehow eventually you got around to doing it? The only difference was you could always do it. You always had the ability. The difference is the way you looked at it and the way you felt. See, at one time you felt overwhelmed because of your physiology. Another time you felt strong enough to just take it on. So you can do this consciously. Now, what I also want to show you is that you can take on other people's physiologies and start to feel the way they do. You can consciously model someone else's physiology and get to feel the way they feel. So let's try something here. We've got a picture here of a couple of different people, and what I'm going to ask you to do is be an actor or an actress, even though you may not be, but to adopt their facial expression, their posture, and I want you to notice what it does to your body, that you'll start feeling like they feel. So we've got a couple examples here. I need some volunteers. I need a man volunteer for starters here. Can I have a volunteer out of the group here? Great. Why don't you come up here? Thank you. Give him a hand. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now, we've got some pictures here that we're going to show, and Vinny here has volunteered, so we're going to start with this one right here, Vinny. What I'd like you to do is just, to the best of your ability, it doesn't have to be perfect, adopt the physiology that you see here. Take on the same, you might start with your legs in the same position, basically, then move your arms in the same position, then move so that your shoulders are basically in the same place. Try and take on the same facial expression, the same head tilt, same eye tension and relaxation, same mouth position. How do you feel right now?
I feel pretty good. I feel pretty excited.
Oh, you really sound like it, Vinny, I'll tell you. Now, take a look at it again, and there's something you aren't doing that would make a difference. See what you're not doing with your body. Okay, there's some of his mouth. Also, he's extended more. Pull your body up higher. Now, how do you feel?
I feel much, much better.
Okay. What would be an emotion to describe the state you're in?
It's like I just completed something that I was really proud of, and that I'm like really great that I finished it.
Fabulous. Very good. Thanks. Give me a hand. Have a seat real fast. That one's pretty simple. Let's try another one. How about Mary Jo? Why don't we have you come up here and help us with this one? It's a little leaning physiology here. Take on the same facial expression, same look in your eyes. I'm going to hold you here. Okay, go ahead. Try it. And how does that feel?
It feels very joyous.
Very joyous.
Yeah.
Okay, take a look at it, see how you might enhance it. And see how you could extend something in your facial expression or something that makes it even better.
Okay.
How does that feel?
Very joyous.
Very joyous. Okay, good. Give her a hand. Thanks a lot. So what we're having these people do by duplicating someone's physiology is just basically send the same messages through their physiology into their body, so they're duplicating or creating very similar states. They begin to feel similarly, and they've got a very strong advantage in possibly even behaving in a similar way. Now, an important point to note is, anytime you change the way you use your physiology, it's also going to change the way you represent things. Meaning when you feel physically vibrant, it tends to change the way you look at the world, the way you talk to yourself about things. Also, conversely, anytime you change the way you're picturing things, or you say to yourself, hey, I can make this happen, it physically changes the way your body starts to work. So these are constantly interacting with each other, both physiology and internal representations, on what we call a cybernetic loop. That is, if you affect one, it's going to impact the other, and vice versa. Right now, if I asked you about something that happened to you yesterday, or happened to you when you were a child, if you told me what happened, would you be telling me exactly what actually occurred? Of course not. Everything that's going on in your head, all of your memories are nothing but myths. Because the reality is, any moment in time when you think you're having an experience, you're not getting the exact experience of what's happening in the world. But what you're actually getting is a set of triggers that your brain is coordinating to make images and sounds. In other words, your five senses are like triggers. They're like the keyboard to the computer, and somebody's hitting those keys. But I can go up to a computer and hit the keyboard, and sometimes on the screen I get paragraphs, and sometime on the screen I might get, different types of shapes. It may not be in paragraphs at all. And what determines what's going to happen is the organizing principle in that computer, the floppy disk, if you will, the programming it has. So a lot of us have been programmed to look at the world a certain way. So when things happen, we see certain aspects, and for us, that's reality. And our programming can make a major difference as to whether we're happy or whether we're sad. So in other words, how we represent, that's what representation means. We represent in our brain what we think just happened will determine how we feel. If we take control of how we present things to ourselves, how we picture, what we picture, how we talk to ourselves, what we listen to, then obviously we can change the way we feel and the way we behave. One of the ways you can change the way you represent things is by using what we call a scramble technique. In other words, almost all of us have had times when we've had a situation that happens, like our boss yelling at us, or a situation where we get in an argument, and then what happens is, for the rest of the weekend, we keep replaying that tape over and over in our head. So it's really important to be able to change that. And one of the ways to change that is literally just to take that mental movie and run it backwards, to change some of the colors and the shapes and the way in which we perceive it. And if we do that enough, if we keep rewinding it and changing it, in essence what we do is we change the way we're going to see it in the future. And when we see it in a new way, we feel a new way as well. So let me give you an example of this. Let's take a look. What if your boss treated you like this?
I can't believe you are so incompetent. I have no idea why I even hired you. And if you don't change your ways, you'll be sorry.
So what do you do in a situation like this? How does it make you feel? Being verbally abused rarely motivates an employee to want to do better and be better. So if you leave, you've got two choices. One is, for the rest of the weekend, you keep running this mental movie and you get more and more angry at your boss. Or the other one is, you just go ahead and change it.
I can't believe you are so incompetent. I have no idea why I even hired you. And if you don't change your ways, you'll be sorry.
Now, let's have you do one like this yourself. Close your eyes and think of a situation that's really bothered you a lot, something that's challenged you, something that when you think about it, doesn't give you too good a feeling. And very quickly, what I want you to do is go to the end of that experience, as if it was a movie, to the last moment of that movie that you don't have such great feelings about. And then what I'd like you to do is just run it backwards as fast as you possibly can. Very, very, very rapidly. Watch everybody moving backwards. Watch them eating their words, literally. Watch the words going back in their throat, the movement's changing, the facial expression is changing. In fact, make it your favorite color now. Make it the color you want it to be. And make the person's face begin to change, so that if they're yelling, their voice becomes very squeaky like Mickey Mouse. And hear the song in the background going, M-I-C-K-E-Y. M-O-U-S-E. So with the scramble technique, all we're really doing is changing the way you're representing something in your head. By running it backwards very, very rapidly and forwards and changing some of the colors and shapes, all we're doing is rewiring the way you remember it. So in the future, when you try and represent that situation, it's represented in a way that makes you laugh or puts you in a humorous state, or at least a neutral state, instead of the old pictures and sounds that used to make you feel really lousy. Take a look here at this example here. As you can see, this is an old woman. Now, take a good look at this old woman and think about what state she might be in if you looked at her face. Now look at this picture here. As you can see, it's another old woman. Now take a look at her and decide, what state is she in? How is she feeling? Is she happy? Is she sad? Now, this second old woman is not an old woman at all. According to the artist who drew it, this is a picture of her beautiful daughter. Can you see the beautiful daughter there? None of you can? Take a good look. So as you can see, if you begin to make these little changes, if, for example, you see the old ugly woman and you begin to look at her and you notice that her chin is actually in her coat. That's what it looks like initially. If you notice what that chin is, it actually becomes like a necklace, okay, on the neck of the young woman. Just take a look and we'll do the details of it for you. Now, how many of you can see it? Great. Now, the point here is, we could show this for 15 minutes if we had time on the videotape, and a lot of people just stare at it and go, no way, I don't see a young woman, it's only an old woman. Why? Because we conditioned you first by showing you one figure of an old woman. So then we showed you something very similar and said, as you can see, this is an old woman. In life, the same thing happens. In life, we get programmed all the time, where somebody, for example, treats us bad in a relationship, and so the next relationship, we try and fit that same view over them. We start looking we start filtering things, and we start going, aha, they're doing the same thing again. So it's really critical that we change some of those patterns to be able to have new choices in our life. So let's talk about some of the ways that we can change how we feel about anything. Probably the foundation of changing your pictures and changing how you feel about yourself is understanding the difference between association and disassociation. How many of you know what the difference is? I'm curious. Okay. If you don't know the difference, let me give you a kind of an experience of the difference. First of all, I should say to you that the difference between understanding whether you're associated or disassociated can be the difference between being totally happy in your life or being really sad. Think about this. Let me show you an example here. Some people in their life, when they think about happy memories, see them kind of like this. Let's take a look at a little piece of film here. And as you see this film, now you get to watch people in motion in a movie, and it's in color, and you get to watch people going up and down the roller coaster. That's called disassociation. You're seeing someone else, or you could be seeing yourself from a distance. Now let's watch this movie. And as you can see, as you're watching this movie, your body begins to respond because you're fully associated. You're in the front seat. You can feel yourself going over the edge. You can feel yourself coming back up. You can feel the emotion firing off inside. If you want to be happy in your life, you've got to know when to disassociate and when to associate. Neither one is perfect for every situation. Some people in life totally associate to all the painful experiences of their life. You go, what was your childhood like? And they go, oh, God, I'll tell you, because all their feelings are right there. Because when they think of those memories, they're like in the experience feeling it, okay? And then you say, well, tell me about some of the happy moments of your life. And they go, let's see. And they go, oh, yeah, I remember a time. And they picture times, but they're not there. They're not feeling it. They're not in the front seat of their life. So there are ways in which you can try this. There are ways in which you can associate yourself. And there are ways in which to disassociate. And the simplest way to associate to something is imagine in your mind stepping into the experience, stepping into the picture. Let's try something here. What I'd like you to do is close your eyes. And I'd like you to think of a happy moment in your life. Any happy moment at all. It's a time when you felt especially like you had a lot of fun. Maybe you were being especially devious as a child and having fun doing it. Maybe you're just joyous, any state you really like, but think of a time when it really felt good. But what I want you to do is this. I want you, as you remember that time, to step out of the experience. Now, if you're not good at visualizing, remember how you felt then, and just kind of push the feeling away so you don't feel it. If you're good at visualizing, step out of the picture so you see yourself over there. And as we do this, notice how you feel as the feelings and the pictures and the sounds are over there. Does it feel as good as it did way back then? I highly doubt it. And notice how that feels. Notice how it feels when the picture's over there, when you're disassociated. Now try this. Step into the experience. Step back in the picture. Feel like your body is feeling it now. Breathe the way you were breathing then when you had this experience. Put the expression on your face like you had then when you had the experience. And notice how good it feels. Hear what you heard then, hearing it in your own head like you're saying it now. And as you're doing this, you're beginning to associate. And raise your hand if this feels measurably better than the first example. Great. And then just simply open your eyes. Now, people who are very happy in their life tend to find all the happy moments they can remember and fully associate. They step into those pictures. They're there. They take the painful moments of their life, if there's nothing they can do about them and they're no longer a part of their life, and they simply disassociate. They make those pictures and they push them away. Or they take those feelings and in their mind, they push them away from themselves. They're not a part of their physical body. You have the ability to do this with just about anything. Hey, can you remember movies that you used to watch when you were a little kid that just seeing them just to like really scare you completely? And then didn't you eventually develop the ability out of wanting to not be fearful, many of you, where you could watch that same movie and kind of laugh or giggle because you just realized you'd said, well, it's just a movie. By saying it was just a movie, what were you doing? Simply using your language to disassociate. grow, and the attraction will happen even more. Okay? Now, with association and disassociation, if we come back to our original model here, it's very simple. All we're doing is changing how you're representing something. So when you're associated, it simply means that you're making pictures in your mind, you're talking to yourself, and your physiology feels like you're actually there. You're in the picture, experiencing it as if it was happening right now. And as a result, that intensifies the state you have about it. So if you're imagining something you're really happy about and you're fully associated, you got a real strong, happy state. If you're imagining something you don't feel so good about and you're fully associated, you got a real negative state, and your behavior is going to be impacted by that. Disassociation is just making internal representations where you're outside of the picture, where things are happening away from you, where you can see it happening. And in those situations, the state is not as intense, and your behaviors are going to be impacted by that as well. How many of you here like to motivate yourself instantly? You don't have to raise your hands. I know the answer. Everyone would. Now, one of the things you can find out is, in order to be motivated to do something, we have to make pictures or represent or say things to ourselves in a certain way. We represent things differently than when we're unmotivated. So what I'd like to show you is that, let's say, for example, when you're motivated, you may make pictures that are movies. And when you're unmotivated, maybe they're a still frame. I'm going to show you how to make a distinction so you can take things you're not motivated to do and get yourself motivated in a few moments just by changing how you represent things, thereby changing state, and thereby changing behavior. So I need a volunteer. Would you volunteer for me? Come on up here. Give her a hand. How are you?
Hi.
Have a seat. All right, Wendy, what I want to do is I want you to, first of all, think of something that's happened in your life or something when you think about it, it gets you really totally motivated. Is there anything like that in your life that if I said, hey, you want to go do this or do you want to take part in this, you get really motivated? Oh, there it is, right there. Okay, great. And what I'd like you to do is just close your eyes for a moment. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to make a picture in your mind of this thing that really motivates you. Great, it's obvious you could really enjoy it, huh? Good. And notice I'm touching her shoulder. In the next section, I'm going to show you what I'm doing with her right now. It's called anchoring. Now, can you get a clear picture of what that's like, that thing that really motivates you? Good, good. Now, as you remember, tell me, is it a movie or is it a still frame?
It's a movie.
It's a movie. Is it life-size, bigger, or smaller?
Smaller.
Okay. Is it in color or black and white?
It's in color.
Okay. Is it bright, dim, or dark?
It's somewhere between dim and bright.
Okay, between dim and bright. Is the picture a panorama? Does it like go on forever, or does it have a frame around it?
Goes on.
It's a panorama. Are you in the picture, experiencing it, or are you watching from a distance, like seeing yourself in the picture?
I'm seeing myself in the picture.
Okay. Is the movement in the picture make a difference in your motivation? Like, is it moving fast or slow?
It's moving kind of slow.
Kind of slow. Is this picture on the right, the left, or the center?
The left.
Okay. Is it up, middle, or down?
Middle.
Okay. Do you hear sounds that cause you to be motivated when you hear this?
Not really.
Do you hear your own voice?
No.
No. You don't say anything to yourself?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, you do. Okay, great. What do you say to yourself?
Go for it.
Go for it. Is that the kind of tone of voice you use as well?
No.
Let me hear what the tone of your voice is.
Go for it.
All right, good. And so we get a chance to hear what her tone of voice sounds like when she's in that state of mind. And what kind of sensations do you feel in your body? Do you feel tension any place when you get real motivated to do this?
A little anxiety.
Little anxiety?
Mm-hmm.
Well, where is that tension if you feel it in your body? Is it in your hands? Is it in your arms? Is it in your shoulders? What part of your body?
It's in my chest.
It's in your chest. And is it tension or pressure, or how do you feel it?
Pressure, really.
A little bit of pressure. Okay. And how do you breathe when you're really motivated like that? There you go, good. And what are the facial muscles like in your body when you're really motivated? Do you feel any feelings up in your face?
Yeah.
What kind of feelings do you feel? What kind of sensations?
Like a determination, like...
Okay. And she's showing us what she does with her body and her face. So what we're looking for is, when she's motivated, what does she do with things that she does in her head? How does she look at things? How does she speak to herself? What does she say to herself? And in addition, what does she do in her body to maintain that state of motivation? Because if we learn how she does this here, we can have her do the same things, make the same kinds of pictures, same kinds of body sensations, and she'll be motivated to do something else. Now, what I'd like you to do is open your eyes for a moment, and then close your eyes again. And I want you to think of something you're not motivated to do, but would like to be motivated to do. Something that right now it's like you'd like to be motivated, but you're not. Maybe like working out, if that's something, or cleaning your room, or anything that you'd like to be motivated to do. You really would, but you're just not motivated to do it right now. Can you think of something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Can you make a picture of that thing that you're not motivated to do, but would like to be motivated to do?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, is it a movie or a still frame, this picture?
It's a movie.
It's a movie. Is it moving at the same speed, faster, or slower than the other movie where you were motivated?
Slower.
It's moving slower. Is it in color or black and white?
Color.
Okay. Is it bright, dim, or dark?
Dark.
Dark. Is it a panorama, or does it have a frame around it?
Has a frame.
Okay. Are you in the picture experiencing it, or are you watching it from a distance or seeing yourself in it?
I'm watching it from a distance.
Okay. Is there a difference in location? If you looked at both pictures simultaneously, the one where you're really motivated, like as if your mind was a split screen, and the other one where you weren't motivated, is one of them closer than the other one? Which one's closer?
The motivated one is closer.
Okay, so the one where you're not motivated, it's further away. Okay? The one that you're not motivated, is it on the right, the left, or the center?
The right.
Interesting. Do you notice all the opposites and the differences here? Great. Is it up, middle, or down?
Down.
Okay. And do you say anything to yourself about this thing that you're not motivated to do? Yeah, it's pretty obvious there's a little difference there, isn't there? What do you say to yourself?
I'm too tired to do this.
I'm too tired. Is that the tone of voice you use?
Yep.
And what kind of sensations do you feel in your body? Do you feel tension or relaxation?
Like a laziness.
Laziness. Heavy feeling or light feeling?
Heavy.
Heavy. Where do you feel that heaviness?
In the lower half of my body.
Lower half of your body. I want you to make this thing you're not motivated to do, make it into a movie that's moving just as fast as the movie where you're motivated. What happens when you make it go just as fast?
I feel a little more motivated to do it.
Okay, and can you see the difference, those of you here and those of you on camera, in her face when she gets a little more motivated? There's a little determination that begins to happen there if you watch her face, the muscular tension. What I also want you to do now is make that picture of the thing you weren't motivated to do and are becoming motivated to do now much brighter. And how do you feel now? Does it make any difference?
Mm-hmm.
How much of a difference? On a scale from 0 to 10, how much more motivated are you? 10 being totally motivated, where are you now?
7.
7. Where were you when we started this before we made these changes?
2.
2. Okay, so brightness makes a big difference in how motivated this woman becomes. Let's try this one. Make it into a panorama. So it's unending, it just expands. Okay, does that make a difference?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you now? On a scale
7.5.
7.5. Okay, that one doesn't make as big a difference for her as brightness. How about this one? Bring it closer. Bring that picture much closer. So it's just as close as the motivated picture was. And where are you now?
8.
8. So this one also is important, but not as powerful as brightness. Try making it even brighter. What happens now?
More.
Even more. Great. So brightness is a big one for her. Now try this. Take that picture of not being motivated on the right, move it to the left, and tell me what happens.
I'm confused. I'm not really that unmotivated anymore.
You're confused because you're not that unmotivated anymore.
I mean, I'm not.
How do you feel about doing this thing?
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay or motivated? Which
Okay.
One? Okay, so you're not totally motivated yet. So have you moved it over to the left?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now what I want you to do is take it from down and put it in the middle. So it's left, middle. Okay? Where are you now on a scale from 0 to 10?
Feeling pretty okay about it.
What number on a scale from 0 to 10?
Oh, about an 8.5.
8.5, okay, that's fine. Now what I want you to do is I want you to say to yourself, go for it. The same way you do there. Go ahead.
Go for it.
Yes, how do you feel now?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Now, what number are you on a scale from 0 to 10?
9 3/4.
9 3/4? Okay, create some pressure in your chest. And say, go for it, while you got the pressure in your chest.
Go for it.
Now where are you?
10.
Okay, very good. Give her a hand. Thank you very much. So this changing of how we picture things and how we say things to ourselves We call those changes submodalities. And all they are, again, is doing is changing how you represent things with more precision. Now, instead of just changing what you're thinking about, you're changing how you're thinking about it or how you're picturing it. So now it's brighter, or it's more focused, it's closer, or it's further away. And one small change in the way you represent something instantly changes your state, and again, has a great chance of changing your behavior as well. So what you want to learn to do is discover which subtle changes in how you picture and how you speak and how you listen to things make the biggest changes in your state and make the changes in the state that you really want. At any moment in time, if you're not feeling motivated, you can just close your eyes, think about what you want to get motivated to do, and make it the way that would motivate you. But the challenge is, if you got to do that every time consciously, sometimes it's difficult. There's a way to make these changes last. There are ways to make these changes be more consistent. There are ways of triggering yourself so that over and over again, anytime something happens that used to make you feel bad, that trigger can make you feel good. We're going to talk about this thing we call an anchor. An anchor is some stimulus, whether it be a picture, a sound, or a touch, that the minute it happens, it fires off a certain state inside of you. And there are all kinds of anchors, you know, a spinning red light, the sounds of a siren, the American flag, a policeman in uniform, someone saying, "Can I see your driver's license?" Those are all different kinds of anchors, triggers. And the way they get created is real simple. Take a look at this. If you look up here, when an anchor is created, it's anytime someone is in an intense state. What an intense state means is when your whole body's involved. States that are intense are like depression, joy, ecstasy, happiness. Anytime your whole body is associated to a certain feeling, you're in an intense state. So anytime somebody's in any kind of intense state, positive or negative, if while they're in that state, someone else comes by and does something over and over and over again, consistently, while you're in that feeling mode, like, say, snapping your fingers, then they can come back later and snap their fingers, and you'll feel the same way because you link that stimulus directly to the state. That's what Ivan Pavlov did. His idea was that you could condition the human nervous system or an animal's nervous system to respond automatically on cue. He took a bunch of dogs. He triggered these dogs to be in a certain state of hunger. He did it primarily by putting food in front of these dogs when they're very hungry. While they're at the peak of this state of hunger, what did he do? He rang a bell, rang a bell, rang a bell. In other words, he conditioned them so that while they were in the peak of this experience, he consistently provided some unique sound. Till pretty soon, he didn't need food. He could just ring a bell, and instantly the dog had saliva. Here are the keys to anchoring. There are basically two keys. Number one, to have somebody be anchored, they have to be in a state where their whole body is involved. So let's try something. Let's anchor some nice states in. Let's sit right now the way you'd be sitting. Change your state. If you felt really, really excited about something, really excited with total positive expectation, and breathe the way you'd be breathing if you have total positive expectation. And what I want you to do is I want you to take your right hand, and I want you to snap your fingers when you're at the peak of that state. And every time you snap your fingers, make it like something that makes you feel even better. And I want you to do it 3 or 4 times until every time you snap your fingers, you feel better and better. Go ahead and try it. Stronger, where every time you feel even better, and you feel even better, and you feel even better, and then may even say something while you're doing it that makes you feel like, that's right. And say it the way that would make you feel even better, and even better, and even better, and even better. Excellent. Then stop for a second. Now, change to some other state. And notice how you change another state. You change your body, don't you? Great. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to go from that state to snap your fingers in the exact same way, make the same sound, notice what happens in your body. Go ahead. How many of you feel the instant state change? Now, that's a real simple example of anchoring, but you can see how powerful it is. Now, that's just one little anchor. What if every time in your day, what you did is you started your day by putting yourself in an outrageous state where you felt really positively expectant, you went, yes, yes, or whatever it is that you said, but you snapped your fingers about 5 or 10 times. And let's say later in the day something happens that doesn't feel so good. What do you want to be able to do? You want to be able to change states. So then all you do is reach back and you go, yeah, yeah. And although you may go, well, yeah, somebody's going to look at you and laugh. Let them laugh. Successful people do what the failures won't. And you want to manage your states. Everybody gets down and depressed. You don't want to be able to do that. You want to be able to shift. Everyone will go to that place, so will you, but you want to be able to shift in a moment. And this becomes a trigger. So there are really 4 keys to effective anchoring that are really important for you to remember. For an anchor to work, first, a person has to be fully associated. That is, they have to be in an intense state where their whole body is involved. If you wanted to anchor me, for example, and I was kind of like this right now, you could anchor me, but if I'm like this and my whole body's involved, it'd be a more powerful anchor. It would last longer and it'd be more effective. The second key to anchoring is you must apply your trigger. That is, you must make the sound or whatever it is you're using to link to the emotion. You have to do it right at the peak of that person's emotional state. The third key is, if you're going to have an effective anchor, you need to make sure that once the person's in the state you want to anchor, let's say they're laughing, for example, while they're in this state of laughter that you want to anchor, you need to make sure you use a unique trigger or a unique stimulus. The last key, number 4, is you must make absolutely certain that when you set an anchor, you realize how you did it so that you can replicate that anchor effectively. Let's move on to one more piece here. And that is, let's go on to something that's kind of fun, and that's phobias. Phobias are really great. Because with phobias, what happens is, a lot of people think phobias are these uncontrollable responses. And they are for most people. When a person has a phobia, what happens is, they have a fear that's literally overwhelming to them. They really don't have much control over it physically or emotionally. And most people who go through phobias try and get traditional help, and a lot of times that help may require 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years of therapy or more. Now, fortunately, with neuro-linguistic programming, what they've basically found out is what creates a phobia and how can you eliminate it. And the way they did that was finding out how phobia got started in the first place. And the way a phobia happens is basically it's a giant anchor. It's a giant stimulus response. Like maybe you know somebody who has a phobia to heights, that they're fine. If you get them walking here on the ground, no problem. Put them on a bridge and their whole body goes out of whack. Why? Because they've linked up unresourceful, fearful states to seeing a bridge. They can walk on the street fine. Some people have it for speaking in front of the room. You know, they can talk to you or me one-on-one, no problem. They go hi and talk to you. Put them in front of 8 people, and all of a sudden they become this person who has no control of their physical body. All that is an anchor, a trigger. Now, I'd like to show you some ways to help change that. And the best way we could do that is select somebody who has a major phobia. And so I've scoured this group before we started, and I found a woman who has a major phobia. And her phobia is for snakes. So she's been willing to stretch and go for it here. She's a little afraid, as some of you have been seeing here earlier, and we're going to bring her up here and work with her. Would you invite Pat up here? Great. How are you?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now, here's the key with doing work. If we want to help someone to change how they feel about something, it's very easy. We can change the way they picture things, we can change the distance, we can change the location, and they're going to change how they feel. When she thinks about snakes, I'm sure she represents it in a certain way. So we have to get her to disassociate, and there's a specific technique that we do to help people disassociate. First of all, we have something for you to see. Can we bring that thing forward that's for her to see here? Bring it a little closer to her. I'll take it. Yeah, your phobia is real heavy, isn't it? Say hello.
Hello.
Okay, okay, we've demonstrated your phobia fine. Okay, now first she's laughing, but take a look at her eyes. Take a good look at her body. Okay, would you stand up for me? And how do you feel right now?
Upset and nervous and afraid.
Okay, you don't have to cry.
Okay.
I didn't do this to make you unhappy. I just wanted you so that you could see the difference and they could see the difference. Now look at the way she's holding it. How is she able to do that?
I don't know. That's a...
Would you like to know?
Sure.
Okay, great. So here's what I want you to do. Turn towards, come over on this side for a second.
Okay.
Right here, like this. What I want you to do is forget about snakes for a second, because I don't
Okay.
want to talk to you about snakes. No, she goes, okay, no problem. Has there ever been a time in your life when you felt especially strong?
Yes.
Show me how you stand when you're especially strong. Great. And as she stands that way, what I'm going to do is reach over and touch her shoulder in a certain way. Now, you remember how you breathe when you feel especially strong?
Yes.
Okay. And I touch her shoulder right when she's breathing that way. What I'm creating is an anchor here. Now, what do you say to yourself when you feel really especially strong?
I'm hot.
You're hot. Good, good. And how does that feel when you're hot?
Great. Ecstatic. Light.
Good, good. Have you ever laughed hysterically?
Yes.
Okay, I mean where you were laughing not out of fear, but because it was fun?
Right.
Okay. Okay, good. We've got her to laugh, and while she's laughing, we're touching her in a certain way, over and over again, like Ivan Pavlov and the dogs. So now she's not laughing, and I go, and you see she starts to laugh again. I can touch her here, and she feels those feelings again. In fact, you can see where her body goes. Okay? So what I've done is just got her to feel a certain way and do what she can do for herself. Touch her in a certain way at that moment. So I can touch her and make her feel that way. Can you feel what happens when I touch you there? What do you feel?
Absolutely. I automatically feel lighter.
Okay.
Just like at peace.
And by the way, when she says lighter and at peace, can you also see the lighter and at peace? It's like determination, right? The same kind of state. Okay, now here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to close your eyes. I'd like you to imagine that you've just gone to the most beautiful theater of your life. And I want you to sit down in this chair as you sit down in that theater and make it a really enjoyable, comfortable theater. And make it be a huge screen way out there in front of you. And then I want you to feel as if you're floating out of your body. And why am I having her float out of her body? Because I want her to disassociate. I don't want her to be where she feels anything. I want her to pull away from that, step out of the picture. So I want you to float out of your body and float up into the control room. And I want you to look down from the control room and see your body down there, sitting in that chair. Can you see yourself? Good. Feels pretty good, doesn't it? And while you're sitting yourself down there, way over there, and you see your body sitting there, watch yourself down there and watch yourself watch the screen. In other words, you're not watching the screen. You're watching yourself who's watching the screen way over there. And on the screen, I want you to put a moment in time when you may have first become afraid of snakes back then. Without feeling anything, just see what you may have seen back then, or anything that represents that fear of snakes. And you don't feel anything because you're floating up here, feeling really comfortable up here in top in the booth, right, where they show the films. And you see your body down there, and you're watching your body, which is watching the screen. And on the screen, you see that most fearful moment. Put the most fearful moment you ever had with snakes, or the biggest fear you ever had about them, but don't feel anything. You're just watching yourself watch it, frozen on the screen. And how does it feel to see that fearful moment way over there through the eyes that you're seeing, watching yourself watch it? How do you feel?
Actually, fine.
Just fine.
Yeah.
So what have we done here? We've not just disassociated her. If she was just watching it, she'd be disassociated. We got her watching herself watch it. We call that in NLP double disassociation. She's disassociated twice, so she doesn't feel it. If she was just watching it, she may have had feelings. But you feel how right now as you see that terrible moment way over there? How do you feel?
Fine.
Just fine. And you can see she's very calm. Now here's what I want you to do. I want you to watch yourself watch that screen, and I want you to watch that movie get played, or the most fearful thing that could ever happen. But as you're doing it, I want you to watch it from this feeling of knowing you're totally in control, that you're the source of all your feelings and behaviors, and that no snake's going to harm you because you're in charge. Now, if there was a dangerous snake, you'd pay attention. But if it's not a dangerous snake, if it's the kind of snake that was here, you can see up on the screen, think of the worst thing that could happen up there, but don't feel it, and watch that movie of what could happen, but operate from this level of knowing you'll do what's necessary to remain healthy. And if it's nothing to be afraid of, then you can enjoy it. Good. And I want you to watch that fearful image you had, the fearful movie, run it by backwards, just like we did earlier, really fast, and change the colors to your favorite colors, and change the focus, and change it so the snake starts talking to you and says, God, I'm more scared of you than you are of me. And it says, I just jerk around because I'm afraid. Please hold me softly. And I like to climb around because that means I love you. If I didn't care, I'd just remain still, but I like to move around, so just support me when I move around. And how does it feel as you listen to that snake say that to you?
It's comical. It's funny.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Great. And imagine touching the snake, and what's your favorite texture in the whole world?
Let's see.
Smooth things or rough things or?
Like a mohair sweater.
A mohair sweater. Great. And what does it feel like when you have a mohair sweater?
It's soft and cuddly and feels great on the skin.
Feel the snake come across you and feel it as if it's a mohair that got shaved. And it got shaved, and so now it's smooth. And how does it feel as it rubs across your body and you know it's shaved mohair?
That's great.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah.
Good. And then what I want you to do is I want you to notice two things that you now know about snakes that you hadn't thought of before that now allow you to be able to hold a snake comfortably and not be afraid. Especially if you know it's not a dangerous one. It's not a rattler, and it's not, you know, it's not a dangerous snake in any way. Because you want to pay attention. If it's a dangerous snake, you want to protect yourself. That's smart. But if it's not a dangerous snake, what is it you now know about snakes that you hadn't thought about much before that allows you to be able to be comfortable and hold them?
We were supposedly came originally from snakes and reptiles.
You don't know if you believe that or not, but what the heck, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Now, what else do you think about snakes now?
That they're actually make good pets, house pets.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people that swear by them, don't
Yeah,
they?
that's right.
It's true. Good. And what's most important to you in your life?
That people are happy around me.
Correct. And would you think it would make people around you happy if you felt more confident around their pets?
Definitely.
Yeah. Good, good. So now I want you to imagine that you step into your body back there. You come out of this little part up here where we're showing the film. You float down into your body. Are you in your body now?
Yes, I am.
Sitting comfortably?
Yes, I am.
Do you feel the confidence and strength that's yours?
Yes, I do.
Do. Okay, good, good. And now I want you to do is imagine that you just reached up, go up to the screen, and take the snake right off the screen. And make it a huge snake. And smile as this huge snake wraps around, and as he moves across you and so forth, it feels good. And you think, oh, God, this felt weird at first, but now I know it's shaved mohair. That's right. It feels really good. And you look at the snake, and when his tongue flickers out at you, you know he's saying, I'm a little bit scared, please support me. And how does that feel as he starts wrapping around you?
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
And how would you make it feel good if you can make it feel good now? What would you do? What would you say to yourself, or what would you picture?
I'd sing to the snake.
What would you sing to it?
I'd sing, Happy Days Are Here Again.
Okay. So hold the snake in front of you and sing to his face.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Happy
Days are here again.
Look at him looking at you. He's moving around. They say. And enjoy it. That's it. Good. And he's laughing. Good. And now, as you feel these feelings, and sometimes new feelings feel a little bit weird at first, but if they weren't weird, what would they be instead?
Just okay.
Okay. And good. And how do you feel about the idea of holding a snake now?
I think I could do it.
Okay. And what would happen if you were positively excited about it?
I'd have fun doing it.
Yeah. What would your face look like if you were going to have fun doing it? Good. Great. And open your eyes and look at that snake over there. And how do you feel as you look at the snake over there?
I actually feel okay.
Okay. And as he comes closer, feel even better. With each step that she comes closer, feel even better. And think about Happy Days Are Here Again. In fact, she can show you how to hold one properly.
Okay.
Just kind of let him hold you.
Okay. Like this?
Yeah. Just let him rest on you. They're arboreals. They like to go up. So if he goes up around your neck, it just means he wants to go up.
Okay.
Let his tail hold you.
Can I sing?
Go ahead, sing. Go ahead and sing to him.
Happy days are here again. La 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 la. La da 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 da. Happy days are here again. I can't believe it. I really can't believe this.
Have you ever had an experience like this?
No, I never have. I've never even touched a snake before. This is amazing.
How do you feel right now?
I feel fine. Actually fine. It's exciting. It's interesting.
It's interesting.
Like shaved mohair.
Now let me ask you a question. What, when you think about snakes right now, what do you associate?
Actually, overcoming my barriers and having a good time.
And how long had you had this fear or phobia?
34 years.
34 years. And how long did it take to change this? How long have we been doing this?
10 minutes.
Yeah, it's tough to create change, you know. Now, what do we do?
This is amazing, really amazing.
All we did is when she thinks snakes now, she has different sensations, different physiologies. I got her to laugh and feel pride. I touch her and feel pride while she's thinking about snakes. Now when she thinks about snakes, she has a certain amount of determination. She has a certain amount of laughter, a certain amount of humor. She sings to them. So I've associated those feelings to snakes. So now she goes into a different state when she thinks of snakes. Her other state was almost crying. Does she look like she's almost crying now?
Amazing. This is amazing, really amazing.
So you can do this with anything. If there's any area in your life at all where you feel stopped, where you feel immobilized, you can just change your associations. You can associate a series of very positive things and then look at a snake and do them. Now, if it's a phobia, though, it won't be enough. Do you see the difference? If it's a phobia, you won't want to go straight to the snake and just snap your fingers. What you want to do is close your eyes, go to a movie theater, see yourself sitting down, float out of your body and up on the screen, play this thing you're afraid of, watch yourself making the changes, and then begin to reassociate to it. Give her a hand. Thank you. You can take it on over there.
Amazing. Just amazing.
Okay. So what did we just do with Pat that allowed her to overcome a 34-year phobia in a matter of minutes? It was actually pretty simple, and it's something you can do very easily. First thing we did is we wanted to make sure we could keep Pat in a good state, especially if she started to get afraid of the snake. So we created first a positive anchor. Step 2, we need to do something in NLP we call double disassociation. In essence, in sitting in the theater, I had her put her fear up on the screen, so it was away from her. She was disassociated from it. But I didn't stop there. I then had her feel like she was floating out of her body and go up into the control room or the film room. And up there, I had her look at herself, watching herself on the screen. So she was seeing herself, see herself, watch the situation on the screen. She was disassociated twice, or double disassociated. Then, step 3, I had her change the way she was representing snakes. I got her to associate to certain kinds of feelings that she really liked, like mohair. And I got her to start thinking of snakes in a new way. I said, after all, snakes are just like shaved mohair. And then the last step was I continued to touch her positive anchors, the things that make her feel really good. And then while she was feeling these great feelings, I simply then brought the animal over, brought the reptile over. And as she saw the snake, she was able to fire off a positive anchor by singing her song. So she sang the song, I'm touching her, and we transferred those emotions right to the snake. Another technique for helping you to anchor in changes or helping you to make a new trigger for yourself is called a swish pattern. And what a swish pattern is about is basically getting your mind and your emotions to move in a direction so you begin to feel differently and behave differently. So you make a picture in your mind of something you presently don't like, either something you're afraid of or maybe a behavior pattern of something you don't like. For example, for me, I made a picture in my mind of bringing my fingers up to my mouth to bite my fingernails, which I was doing all the time. So in my mind, I just closed my eyes and saw this picture of my bringing my hand up. Then what you do is you imagine in this big picture of what you don't want, you make a small little picture of what you do want. In the bottom right-hand corner, you make a small little picture, in my case, of seeing myself dressed really well, being in a situation where I was lecturing, being where I felt really proud of myself, and seeing myself in a position where my fingernails were normal, where they were manicured, where they were taken care of, where I wasn't biting them. But I associated those ideas to something I'd be really proud of myself as a speaker, a communicator, helping people, and looking really professional. So then all you do is you do a linkage, where what you see is you see what you don't want, you see what you do want, and you watch them switch, where you take the small little picture and you do this thing we call a whoosh pattern or swish pattern, where you actually reach out with your hand and feel as if you're pulling this little picture up, and it gets bigger and bigger and brighter until it literally explodes through what you don't want. So what's in front of you is a big, bright, colorful picture of what you do want. In my case, myself looking good, lecturing, and being proud of myself, and also noticing, hey, my nails are great too. I'm not biting my fingernails with a terrible habit. Then what I do is I close my eyes again, see myself starting to bite my fingernails, see this other picture where I take my fingers away, I look good and feel good, and I make the swish again. See what I don't want, see what I do want small, and I make it big very fast. Go whoosh. I see that little thing come up, get very bright, break through. I get the experience again of feeling good about myself, then I open my eyes and do it again. In essence, what you say to your brain is, see this, whoosh, do this. See this, whoosh, do this. See this, do this. See this, do this. See this, do this. See this, do this. Until when you see the old thing of like wanting to bite your fingernails, it triggers in your mind the whoosh, the new thing, which is, no, I don't need to do that. This is who I really am. Now, let me give you an example of how this might work with a pattern, for example, with your children. Take a look at this example.
Daddy, can I please talk to you?
How many times have I told you not to come in here when I'm busy? Now, will you please just get out of here?
Obviously, this is not how you want to treat one of your children. But that's the first step to a swish. See how you're behaving now. Second step, think of how you want to behave. Get a clear picture of what you'd like to behave like in the future. Here's an example.
Daddy, can I please talk to you?
Look, sweetheart, give Daddy 5 minutes to finish up in here, and then I'll give you all the time you want, okay?
Now that we understand how we used to behave and how we want to behave, we're going to use the swish pattern to create a connection in our mind so that in the future, the old behavior triggers the behavior that we actually want. And here's what you do. Set them up. So you have a big, bright picture, maybe with a red background, of what you don't want. In the bottom right-hand corner, make a small, dim, green picture of what you do want. And all we're going to do is switch them. We're going to make the little picture all of a sudden grow and get big and bright and break through the red picture. And the best way to do it is reach down as if you're holding that green picture, and with all the strength you have and with a big smile on your face, go whoosh and pull that picture up and feel it break through the old behavior. So now in front of you is a big, bright, colorful picture of how you want to behave. Feel the victory. And then you go back again. You make the big red picture of how you don't want things to be, the way you're behaving now. You make the small, dim picture of how you do want things to be in green, and then you switch them again. Reach out and grab it, have fun, and go whoosh, break it through. Again, do it again. Make the switch, whoosh. Again, do it again, whoosh. Again, whoosh. So this is just one example of how to use it. So let's do a switch pattern together. Let's do one with a fear. It'd be really easy to do. Here's what I'd like you to do. All of you here and all of those of you who are watching on video right now, I'd like you to close your eyes for a moment, and I'd like you to make a big picture in your mind of something that maybe creates for you feelings of fear, or maybe a negative feeling or emotion that you had about some behavior you used to have. Something you'd like to change, for example. Let's start with a fear. That'll be an easy one. Think of something that you have a fear about and make a picture of it in your mind. Firewalking might be an example if you can't find any other one. And when you got a picture of a fear in your mind, just say yes in this audience so I know that you have it.
Yes.
Great. What I want you to do is in the bottom right-hand corner of this picture, I want you to do what you just watched happen on the screen. That is, I want you to make a small picture seeing yourself as you would be if you were free of that fear, but also seeing yourself the way you would be if you were like totally proud of yourself, if you felt really good about who you are as a person, something that would really motivate yourself. So get a small picture and make it kind of dim and kind of dark of how you want to be, a direction you'd like to move towards. And when you have that little small picture of how you want to be, one that would inspire you if you were like that, then just say, yes, I know you have that as well. Yes. Great. And you at home, hopefully you're doing this now as well. Good. Now, what we're going to do is reach out with your right hand, with your eyes remaining closed, and then act as if you're grabbing on to that one little spot, that one picture of how you want things to be. And what I want you to do is when I say now, you're going to grab it and you're going to literally pull it up towards your face on an angle and fast, where you're going to say the sounds of whoosh. And what will happen is as you do it, as long as it takes to say whoosh, that picture will grow as it comes up, it'll get brighter and more focused, and it'll break through the old picture of how you don't want to feel or be, and it'll replace it. It'll be bigger and brighter and more colorful, and you'll enjoy it. Have fun doing it. Do it with a smile on your face as well. Ready? Go. Whoosh. And then open your eyes for a moment after you feel good. Close your eyes, and we're going to do it again very quickly. The key to the swish pattern is to do it very rapidly and do it succinctly. Do it where you see the breakthrough and feel the success. See the old picture of what you're afraid of? Make it big. Make a small, dark picture of how you want to be. When you do the whoosh, make the small one big and bright and colorful and feel good and feel the breakthrough. Ready? Go. Whoosh. Open your eyes. Close your eyes. Let's do it again. See the scary picture, the thing you're afraid of? Picture what you do want small. Make it big. Ready? Whoosh. Make sure it's bright. Make sure you feel it before you open your eyes. You feel the success. Then open your eyes. Close your eyes. Do it again. Ready? Whoosh. Open your eyes. Close your eyes. Do it again. Ready? Whoosh. Open your eyes. Close your eyes. Do it again. Whoosh. A little faster. Open your eyes. Close your eyes. Do it again. Whoosh. Open your eyes. Close your eyes. Do it again. Whoosh. Now, think about this thing that would make you afraid. And what happens? How many of you, when that happens, either you can't think of the old picture of what scared you, or it triggers a new picture of how you want to be? How many of you get that? Great. So the new picture will pull you forward. So that's what I do with my fingernails. I just saw the picture of my biting my fingernails, then I saw one where I took my hands away, and I took charge of my life. And that was inspirational for me. I did it enough times till, guess what? The next day, I didn't even bite my fingernails till about 2 o'clock. All of a sudden, around 2 o'clock, I found my fingers in my mouth. Now, I could have said, well, that failed. I didn't say it failed. I just said I need to anchor it in more. I need to do a few more repetitions with more intensity in my feeling. So I did about 15 more whooshes, and I haven't ever touched my fingernails since. So it's something you can do to change the direction. And what it does, it didn't just make me feel different about my fingernails, but it got me to now think of when I started to do things that would make me bite my fingernails, it now makes me think to be like the person who's elegant, who I respect, who I want to be. So I found myself doing a lot of other things I wasn't doing before, like just picking things up around the house if it was in the way. Before, I just let it go. But see, the kind of person I pictured in my mind wouldn't just let it go. He'd pick it up and handle it. So it not only changes the emotion in the moment, but it kind of changes the direction of how you think and how you behave. It has what we call a processional effect. That is, if I drop a stone in the water, it just doesn't have an impact right when it hits the water, but it has that circular ripple effect that expands throughout the whole pond. So even though it's very simple to do this pattern, doing repetitions of this can totally change the direction of your thoughts and your behaviors for a lifetime. So don't take something that's simple lightly. Think of the things, think of the kind of person you want to be, think of how you feel about things now, and do swish patterns like this on a daily basis, and you'll begin to manifest your dreams more rapidly than you probably ever thought possible. Basically, what we've been studying in this tape are some very simple and effective ways of governing our own feelings and our own behaviors. Almost everybody in life wants to change how they feel about these two things. They want to change their feelings or emotions about something, or they want to change their acts. We found that all human behavior comes basically from the state that your mind and body is in at any moment in time. And what we've learned here is that there are two major factors, again, that determine how we feel and how we behave. One, the way we're using our bodies. Our bodies are kind of like a television set. If you turn the channel, you're going to get different signals and you're going to see different pictures in your mind. Our bodies, we can turn the channel by the way we use our posture, by the way we breathe, by our diets. And we learn here that just by changing our facial expressions, with the 80 different muscles in our face alone, we can change our emotional state from depressed to totally excited in just a minute or so. The other thing we learned is how we represent things. That is how we picture things, how we talk to ourselves. What we picture and what we talk to ourselves about also makes a huge difference in how we feel and how we behave. We learned that obviously with positive thinking, we're to change what we picture. If we are picturing something that makes us feel bad, think of something that will make us feel good. But we also learned about things like association and disassociation. How when we picture things, if we're in the picture, it has a much different impact than, for example, if we're away from the picture at a distance. And we learned that it's time in a relationship to be associated to things that we really love about a person. And in a relationship, if we want to stay very happy, sometimes we have to disassociate from the things that wouldn't make us so happy. We learned that there's no right or wrong, but that our perceptions are governed by the way we organize the pictures, sounds, in our body. We also learned that if we have memories or painful experiences of our life, that we don't have to carry them around with us forever, that we can literally reprogram our minds in many ways. One, through a process we call the scramble technique, where we simply rewind the tape so many times, going forwards and backwards, making a few changes till the tape is new, so that when we think of the memory, we have new feelings, new pictures, new sounds, and they empower us, or they make us laugh, or they make us feel neutral, or they allow us to just reevaluate our life from a position where we can make intensive, positive decisions, but without having all the negative feelings. We've also learned how to manipulate our submodalities. Again, where we picture things, how we picture things, what we say, how we say, in order to go from unmotivated to totally motivated about things that in the past maybe weren't too exciting to us. So we've learned how to change our feelings about objects, ideas, and behaviors. Also in this process, we've learned a little basic ideas of how to eliminate phobias. And by the way, I know we went through it rapidly, but you can go back and you can watch that over and over again until you understand how to do it. To be able to take a 34-year phobia and eliminate in that shorter period of time should hopefully entice you and make you curious until you master it. Lastly here, we taught you a little bit of how to do what we call a swish pattern and how to do some anchoring. Those are ways to make sure that when you make a change in how you picture or make a change in how you use your body or how you feel, how to make it last through time. And you've learned some ways to do that. So what this tape has tried to do is give you a very large list of tools. It's tried to give you a little bit of an owner's manual, to introduce you to the keyboard, that if you make things closer or further away and you hit that particular key, you're going to have different feelings than if you bring those things and make them brighter. And I think what has to happen now for you to be able to really get the results that I know you want in your life is you've got to realize that this is a system. This whole program works together. And no program works unless you work it. No owner's manual is going to help you if you don't apply it. And so we've tried to assist you with this, but the first thing you got to remember is repetition is the mother of skill. And this isn't the first time I've talked about these tools, nor the first time I use them. So if you want to be good at anything, you need to do it over and over and over again. So watch this tape, listen, take notes, apply it. And if you do, as I know you will, you'll find results that you were probably very excited about getting when you first picked this program up. In addition, when this tape is done, there'll be a slight delay, and then you'll be introduced to the 5-minute mental aerobic workout. And really what that is taking the highlights of this tape, the certain fundamental keys that you can start each morning with. Please take the time to do it. Hopefully you take the time to take care of your physical body every day. Take the time to program your mind. Because remember, if you're going to take off on this jet, you better use your checklist if you really want to succeed. And also, if you don't do the programming, somebody else will. That's what television, that's what radio, that's what friends, that's what a lot of unknowing environmental factors do. If you don't plant the right seeds, weeds grow automatically. So if you'll just take 5 minutes a day, watch the film, take on the physiologies, take on the thought patterns, and maybe review this tape on a regular basis, I can guarantee you that you'll have more direction and more control and a lot more happiness than a lot of people in this life ever get a chance to have. So I want to thank you for your time, and I want to entice you to go for the good life. You deserve it. And I hope I get to hear about your success story very soon. See you then. Welcome to Mental Aerobics, a chance for you to tune up your thinking and get yourself in a state of mind where you can get the most out of your day. The purpose of this short 5-minute portion of tape is designed to be used each morning to help you to literally review what you've learned in this tape and really operate your brain with more effectiveness and more efficiency than maybe ever before. What you need to do to be able to do this is maybe at this time notice where you are on your VCR and mark the numbers so you can get back to this each morning very quickly and very easily. So let's begin with a very quick review. Point number 1 is remember what generates how you feel and how you behave. Recall our graphic here, that all human behavior is the result of your state of mind and body, and that you can change that state of how you feel instantly. What I want to give you right now are a series of pictures of people who are in outstanding states, who are feeling really phenomenal. And what I want you to do is just take a moment and adopt their exact same physiology and feel exactly as they feel. Try and adopt and imagine that you are that person, because each of these are obviously peak states. Let's start with number 1. And right now, feel it as if you're this person right now experiencing this moment. And enjoy it for a moment. Let that signal go to your brain that puts you in that kind of peak state, like a champion. Now let's take on this second one. Trigger your brain to feel these ecstatic feelings at this moment right now. Excellent. Now that we've done a little physiology tune-up, let's see if there's anything in our minds that maybe needs to be changed. Maybe you have some images of the day or some challenges that are coming up. Or maybe something was said or done recently you want to change. Now's your chance. Take a moment and scramble it. That is, go into your mind, see that situation that was bothering you, and run it backwards very rapidly. Changing the colors, the shapes, the sizes, the sounds that you're listening to. Great. Next, close your eyes right now and get a big, bright, clear picture of how you want this day to be, of how you want to live your life today. And what I want you to do with that image is please step into the image so you're fully associated. Be there, take a deep breath in, blow it out slowly, and feel yourself experiencing the day as you want it to be. The next step is we're going to do 7 swish patterns. What we want to do is program ourselves to continually grow and move towards the ideal idea of ourselves. And here's how it's going to work. Remember the swish patterns, very simple. You'll see on the screen here a red picture. The red picture is a picture of yourself as you presently perceive yourself. In the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see a little green square that's kind of dim here to start. In that square, right now, create an image of yourself, an image of you that would really inspire you, an image of how you would like to be. And then this pattern here on the screen will help you to do your swish pattern very rapidly and very easily. What you'll begin to see now is, first we'll do it slowly. Bottom right-hand green of how you want things to be. You notice it's slowly getting bigger, bigger, brighter, brighter, and it'll break through. Now let's do it again. We see the picture of how we are presently. We see the improvement we want to experience. And what we do is we're going to a little bit faster, and you're going to hear the whoosh sound. Here we go. Ready? Whoosh. Ready? 7 in a row. Follow the pattern and have fun while you're doing it. Smile. Reach down and grab onto that green square and pull it forward to the pace that you see on the screen. Go for it. Whoosh. Here we go again. Whoosh. Here we go again. Whoosh. Here we go again. Whoosh. A little faster. Whoosh. A little faster. Whoosh. A little faster. Whoosh. this, and all of a sudden you feel it, or you go like this and go, yes. And what it'll do is it'll trigger in you a set of states. And one last state here to wrap up this mental aerobic, to tune yourself up to start your day. Take on one more state, a state of gratitude. Because I believe an attitude of gratitude will certainly make your life a lot more joyful. Maybe you feel the same way. But just think right now, how would you be standing, how would you be breathing if you realized you've got an incredible gift right now? It's called another day of your life. And if you really dissociate to the joy of that, associate to the feelings of gratitude, of who you are and where you live in the world and what opportunities you have, you've got it all right now, all the resources you need. There's no meaning in life except the meaning you create. You're in charge of this mind and brain. And you've got to be grateful for this incredible vessel that you get to take use of and take a part in. And maybe you want to complete this day by adopting this physiology, the physiology of somebody you really respect, or maybe this example right here. And I leave you by reminding you that this is the greatest gift you have, another day of life. Have a great day.